What's up, guys? It's Coach Grant with First Down Training, and today we're going to be talking about how wide receivers should be watching film. We're going to be talking about the key specific things you guys need to look for in DBs, in defenses, in coverages, when you're watching film, when you're studying film, preparing for a game, how you guys can use that knowledge to your own benefit, and how you guys can structure a plan going into game day, okay? So I hope this video helps you guys out, teaches you a few things just about how you guys can structure the plan, how to read a DB, and just improve your overall football IQ. So again, but also, fellas, if you're a wide receiver and you want to know what you need to do on a daily basis, in the gym and on the field to take your skills to that next level, check out that very first link in the description below for our ultimate wide receiver training schedule. So what it is, it's a 4-week-long schedule where we give you every single on-field wide receiver drill you should be doing and every single gym exercise specifically for wide receivers you should be doing. Each drill, each exercise broken down to sets and reps, and we include a video explanation of each drill and explanations of each workout in the gym. So I hope you guys can check that out. Very first link below. Let's get started with this video. So first route here, we're looking at a sluggo route against this like press bail look, okay? So now, how should you guys be able to study this? If you're a wide receiver and you're watching this, and let's say this is a team, let's say you're playing this team that's on defense, right? This is film of some wide receiver that we don't know, and we're trying to get ready for this. How can we prepare based off of what this DB is doing? So the main thing that I tell all my guys when they ask me this question, quarterback or wide receiver, is if you're not watching film with a pen and a piece of paper, you're doing it wrong, because what you need to be doing is you got to be taking notes with Huddle, especially if you guys use Huddle. Huddle already does some of this stuff for you. If you have coaches that aren't lazy and they actually mark up the film, then you'll be able to see this kind of stuff on your own, and it makes the process a little bit easier. But if not, that's fine. I feel like you learn better anyways doing the work yourself. So you should be writing down percentages, right? How many times do they come out in this look? How many times are they off? How many times are they in off man? How many times are they in zone? That's what I would be solely focused on the first couple times I watch the film, right? So let's say maybe you get three games of film on a team. I would be solely focused on, okay, they like to come out in this, this, and this. And if they don't change it up, especially if you're in high school, I've seen high school teams that will do only cover 4 and cover 3, and they will do both of those coverages. It's 50-50, right? Like those are the only two coverages that they run, right? So that's super simple. But you get a team that's a little bit more talented, you're playing at a little bit higher level of a league, you're going to see a different coverages that they'll like to mix up. So we got to make sure we take note of it, because that's how you structure your plan, right? So now I'll use this specific example because you see when this DB's lined up here, he's in a press bail look. So watching film, I would pick up on a few things. I would see that his eyes are to the inside. That's a dead giveaway, number one, from a wide receiver perspective, that it's a zone coverage look, right? So if those eyes are on the receiver, those are called man eyes. If those eyes are in the backfield looking at the quarterback, those are called zone eyes. So if I see this type of look and I see that his eyes are in the backfield, nobody plays man coverage looking at the quarterback. So, okay, that's a press bail look. So if you're going up against this specific corner right here and you start to see this look, you like to see him bail out of there, I know they like to come out and press bail. So as a receiver, when I see that, I come up to the line, he's walked down maybe like 2 yards off, his eyes are in the backfield, all right, chances are that's press bail. I know this team likes to run that. I know this DB I'm matched up with likes to run that a lot. So how can I structure my routes, right? So that's how you come up with that plan. So if I got a lot of routes where it's like, I got a lot of inside breaking routes like post, right? Maybe this sluggo, maybe I got some slants. I know that I want to threaten him where? I want to threaten him to that blind spot. Anytime that I have a press bail look, we can always work to that blind spot and attack. So if I see him bailing out of there, you see how when we're working this sluggo, he's attacking the blind spot. He's closing the distance. He's attacking the front hip, because that's what's going to force that DB to widen, but that will also get him to be overcommitted on anything that's going to cross his face, especially a quick route like a slant. That's a great job by this receiver selling the route, getting that DB to jump and opening up that space to the outside. What that also can tell you is if you have an outside breaking route when he's bailing out in zone, why would he bail out in zone? What's he trying to force you to do? He's trying to force you to the inside, right? So if I have any kind of outside breaking route, I know that if they like to come out in this coverage a lot, I'm going to threaten him to the inside. I'm going to try to attack this inside shoulder, get that DB to commit his hips so I can slip back underneath and get back to the out portion of this route, corner portion of the route, come back, whatever it is, okay? So that's how we got to understand. We come up to the line, we got to make sure we're taking percentages down so I can structure that plan to my advantage, okay? Let's watch this thing again, full speed one more time. And this is going to be a big informational video for you guys, right? It's not about route running. It's not about techniques. We're not breaking down little intricacies, but you got to know when to use this stuff. We can't just go out there and know, oh, I know how to snap down. When do you use that? Oh, I know how to do a split release. When do you use a split release? When do you actually have to do it, right? It's not just trial and error. We don't just walk out there when it's 11 on 11, pads on, and we just pull things out of my ass and try to figure out what I'm doing. We have to understand that it's all calculated and it all has to be similar, okay? Let's watch the thing again, full speed one more time. Great job selling the slant right here. Great job attacking that weak hip, threatening the blind spot, and getting that DB to commit, okay? So now, second thing I want to talk about here is press, right? So what kind of press looks are we seeing? So if you're going to be seeing probably one of two things at the high school level. You might be seeing this as you get a little bit older, maybe even in the high school level, you'll see some outside shade, but you'll normally only see head up press or inside shade press, okay? So, and again, I know a lot of high school teams, especially youth teams, not a lot of people like that press. They just simply don't have the athletes. They just simply don't have the guys to cover us, which is good. We like that, right? We want to get a free release every single time, but we also love press coverage because I know I can get a ton of separation when it's a one-on-one matchup if I organize what I'm supposed to be doing correctly. That's the whole point of this video, right? So this is a situation where I have head up press. So if I were to be watching this on film and I see a DB that likes to come out and head up press all the dang time, I know I'm going to have a lot of fun with my releases because I could threaten him inside, I could threaten him outside. I have a lot of places that I could force him to open up and go, right? So what this receiver decides to do is he has a 5-yard out route, right? It'd be a different story if this DB were outside shade because then we'd have to take the inside release. And it'd be a different story if he was inside shade because then I would just go straight to the outside. I'd set him up with something quick to the inside and go. But because he's head up, I could hit him with something like a dive release, right? So a dive release is where we try to cross. It's almost like a diamond where you're taking like 3 steps on a 45, but you're crossing his face like we're trying to sell a drag. And that's what gets that DB to turn his hips and go. So when I have that head up press where he's not a specific leverage like inside shade, outside shade, I could threaten him in a lot of different directions. I could threaten him outside. I could threaten him inside. So when you guys see that on film, you should be knowing that, okay, that opens up a lot of different releases. There are a lot of different things that I could use. That's when I could use a split release. That's when I could use a wide step release. That's when I could work those inside release routes. Like if I got to run a post route or a dig route, that's when I probably can get an inside release, right? So now the other thing I want to point out is that when I'm here and I see a DB who likes to come out and maybe inside shade press, let's say he's shifted over maybe about a yard, maybe about a half a yard, and he's inside shade. So what does that tell me? If that's the only type of look that because that's what you'll see in high school. You'll see freaking DBs that are like almost like completely turned towards the sideline. That's fine. We just cannot, we got to understand that when we see that inside shade press, okay, my releases for that game should be things that I take the outside release no matter what the route is, right? Like let's say I got to run a post. Let's say I'm running a lot of posts that week. Let's say I'm running a lot of digs and I'm seeing a lot of inside shade press. Like maybe they're putting their best corner on me and they're letting us go on an island over here. And I'm seeing a lot of inside shade press. Okay, fine. I'm just going to set them up to the inside. I'm going to know I'm going to have to take a lot of outside releases that specific weeks. You see what I'm saying? So that's how you guys structure the routes. You have to understand what kind of press look it is and how you guys can build going into that. We got to keep it simple. I mean, a receiver probably runs like what, like 5-6 different, you're not running the full route tree every single game. Maybe you are, but about 5-6 different routes. So if you could get 5 to 6 different releases that you guys, that all build off of each other, that's how you guys can win on this. Let's watch the thing again, full speed. Great job using that dive release right there. Just wanted to show this as an example of what you guys can do when you see that head up press look. Okay. So now last thing I want to talk about is when we see an off man coverage look. Okay. So now when you see a team run a lot of off man coverage, I think that might be from an offensive perspective. I love that coverage because I think it's dumb. I don't know why you would ever play off man. I don't know the benefit of playing off man other than just to prevent anything deep, but it opens up so many things short for me, and especially if that quarterback can understand it and he has good chemistry at the wide receiver, we should win 10 out of 10 times against off man. There's no excuse that we lose against off man coverage, right? So we're going to play this full speed. So Cooper does a great job of attacking the outside shoulder of the DB, breaks this thing off and makes this catch on this post route, right? So let's talk about it. So when you guys see this on film, let's say you're coming up, I see a lot of this on film, like maybe they go no high safety, maybe they go one high. Usually we might see this with no high safeties. I've seen that before in high school, and I think it's incredibly stupid. But when I have an inside shade guy like this, I know as a wide receiver, okay, how can I structure my routes if they come out in this? Let's say they come out in this off-man coverage. Like, let's say they come out in this like 60% of the time, right? Like, let's say 60% of the time you have this. You got to have a plan for it, right? So if I have any kind of outside breaking route, and I have this kind of coverage, because trust me, fellas, it's like knowing the answers to the test, right? Like that's why you watch film. Like every game's a test. Treat it like a test. Watching film is like studying for the test, because if you know the answers before you go in, you're going to be much more comfortable. You're going to be much more prepared, and you'll be able to play fast. The goal is to play fast. So many receivers don't know what that actually means, right? So if I have a lot of outside breaking routes that week, outs, comebacks, maybe not comebacks, but corners, I know that if I get this specific coverage, I'm going to try to attack his leverage. I'm going to try to square him up and try to attack that midline, because he's going to keep his leverage to the inside here, and then that opens up space for me. And then if I have a lot of inside breaking routes, where do I want to attack? Exactly what Cooper did. He attacked the outside shoulder because, again, a DB's inside shade for a reason, to protect the inside. So it's going to be harder to get him to move, but how we get him to move is to commit his hips vertical, to actually turn his hips and run, and I can pop this thing off and slip back underneath, but I have to make sure I threaten him to the outside. So make sure we have a plan for whatever route that I'm running if I'm going to be seeing a lot of off-man specific coverage. And how we know it's off-man, he's not looking at the quarterback, he's looking at me when he's off. When it's zone, he'll be looking at the quarterback, and he'll probably be facing the quarterback. When it's man, he'll be looking at you, most likely facing you or squared up. Let's watch the thing again, full speed one more time. Great job by Cooper understanding how to attack the specific shoulder when it is an off-man look to get that DB to bite and create some separation. All right, guys, we want to thank you for watching. I really appreciate it. If you guys have any questions at all, please don't hesitate to leave those in the comments below. I'll get back to you as soon as I possibly can. Always appreciate the feedback, and it's always great to hear from you guys. But again, fellas, if you want our full ultimate wide receiver training schedule, everything wide receivers need to be doing in the gym and on the field on a day-to-day basis, broken down with sets, repetitions, and workout splits, check out that very first link below to get access to that specific program. I'll see you guys next time.